Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the weekly update from Ollie Murphy. I'm your host, Daniel Hussey, joined as always by Ollie. Ollie, we're thinking and we've decided we're going to call this Track Talk if you're happy enough with this. Track Talk episode 4. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, no, sounds good to me, Dan.
And listen, firstly, those that are interested in the weekend's race and would have looked at decks across the board, not just yourself. I've heard of I heard a lot of trainers like Donald McCain and Nick Luck's daily podcast mentioning he's potentially looking at Red Mills Day and stuff like that. The ground over in the UK, it's just not unsafe, but it's getting there, is it?
Yeah, it's extraordinary. Listen, in my 5 years in training, I haven't done anything like it. I was reading the paper yesterday morning, and the clerk of the course in Fakenham said in 25 years of being a clerk in the course, he's seen nothing like it. So, listen, it really is an odd situation we're in. To be watering these tracks in February is extraordinary, but it's the same for everyone. I'm very cautious now of running horses on watered ground, especially big, heavy winter horses. You end up having to ring owners with bad news, and it's hard enough to keep them sound as it is without running on very quick grounds. We're just having to be patient.
I heard a trainer say during the week as well that you'd rather regret not running than running, because when you regret running, there tends to be a problem.
Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, it's a decision you've got to make, and you've got to be mature and take responsibility for your actions, really. So I'm being very careful. I've got very few entries in the next 7 days, like you'll have seen. I've obviously got horse in Monday, Tuesday at tracks that do a good job of their ground and hold their moisture well, but a very quiet weekend for me, unfortunately.
And looking, before we get into some of the horses potentially running over the next few days, looking ahead to the Cheltenham Grade 1 entries that you have at the moment. So Chasing Fire, Strong Leader, and the Supreme and Thunder Rock. Firstly, on Chasing Fire and Strong Leader, with the good ground, is there any issues in terms of training the horses, or like you can still train them on your stand, obviously?
No, they're all good. They're trained on an artificial surface, so they'll only set foot on grass once now before they head for a Supreme. They're going to have a racecourse gallop at Warwick after racing a fortnight before Cheltenham. So they're both in good order. They both had a quietish 10 days now since their recent engagements, and they're going to be tuned up and trained now for March.
And how has Thunder Rock come out of his race? What was it, 10 days ago now at this stage?
Yeah, no, he came out of it good. He obviously had a hard race with being a Grade 1, but he's been freshened up now for a week or 10 days. He's back cantering now this week, but he looks good. Obviously, the plan is to step him up and trip to 3 miles, and hopefully that'll eke out that little bit more improvement which is needed for him to be competitive in that grade.
Okay, and then maybe moving on to some of the horses that potentially might run. You have Itchy Feet declared. Tell us a little bit about would he definitely run out on the weekend?
Yeah, no, he'll run on Saturday. Really looking forward to running him. Obviously, hadn't won for a long time before winning the Pertham's qualifier in Lingfield. So hopefully he can go back that run up. If he doesn't, he's got a real good each way chance. He seems in good form at home. My horses still continue to run well, and I'm really looking forward to running him.
And what's the plan with him? Because obviously he won the Pertham's qualifier. Is there a view to go to Cheltenham, or have you kind of said there's going to be one outside it?
There is a plan to go to Cheltenham, and this is kind of a second thought, really, but it's worth a lot of money. He's joint top rated, and it just seems silly that we're not contesting 60,000 quid in prize money when he's a 130 shots. So he's not the most consistent of horses, albeit he's got a lot of ability, and on his day he's very good. So we just thought we'd take a chance on route to Cheltenham.
Yeah, it does seem like a winnable enough race given the size of the field, around 5.0, 5.5 on Matchbook. So it's definitely, he seems like it's worth the risk anyway.
Yeah, no, listen, it's good prize money. Obviously, a Grade 2. Usually this race, it's the ground, it's literally usually underwater. I ran Thomas Darby in it last year, and it's as bad as ground as I've ever seen. And this year it's on watered ground. So shows what a dry winter we've had. But yeah, I'm looking forward to running him, and I think he's the most talented horse in the race if he puts it in.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's great to see him back to form the last day win that Pertham's qualifier. Onto the Wolf, you also have him declared in Ascot. Is he going to run there? He's declared there this morning.
Yeah, no, the plan's to run him. Taking a big chance running him back as quick as I am after a hard race in Musselburgh. But he seems in good form. Step back in Triple Suit. He's got plenty of ability, and one of these days he will pop up in one of these good handicaps. He's just a little bit of an enigma. He blows very hot and cold.
Okay, and then moving on to some of the Monday and Tuesday entries. So these will be a lot more not as certain, obviously, as the weekend. Benassi was a horse I thought impressed Maiden Hurdle. He kind of justified favoritism the last day. You haven't entered in the Carlisle Novices Hurdle. Will he go ahead?
Very much 50-50 whether he'll run or not. Just depends whether he'll be right or wrong at the weights with a few. But if he does, he'll obviously go there with a chance. His race from Weatherby's worked out very well, and hopefully he's still a horse who's progressing.
Okay, and I'll just list out the kind of other Monday entries you have at the moment. So you have Am I Wrong, Huvari, Oakley Dancer, Boreen Boy, Enduring Love. Out of those, any of them likely to take up their engagements?
I'd say Am I Wrong, Huvari, and maybe Enduring Love and Oakley Dancer may head to Linfield on Monday. Huvari had a lot better run the last day. I thought he'd be a horse who would go racing on his third start over hurdles with a nice chance. Am I Wrong's got plenty to prove. Enduring Love's consistent at his level. And Oakley Dance had a good run the bumper first time out, but she'll need her experience having her first run over hurdles.
Okay, some interesting entries there. And moving on to Tuesday, there are some in the 4-day stage. And one of the Mexican Boy, I suppose, disappointed by and large last time out. Would you be willing to give him another chance?
Yeah, I ran him on the wrong track, Dan. Was way too sharp from round Fakenham, so I'd definitely forgive him on his last start. He's handicapped to be competitive off his subtle run, and he'd have an each-way chance now if he takes up his engagement there.
And Olly, I'm always interested. So obviously it was that race that maybe made you decide you ran him on the wrong track. Is it halfway through the race you realise that, or is it obviously at the finish as well, or a bit of both?
Well, I'd say it was after it jumped one fence, and I'd say Sean cursing at me going round because he was flat out, and when you're in fifth gear, you don't jump as well as you can. So yeah, it was a bad bit of placing on my behalf, and hopefully we can make amends now on a slightly bigger track.
Okay, yeah, good answer there. Oakley Dancer, is he likely to take up in Market Raisin?
Yeah, she's okay. She'll either go there or Linfield. She was fourth in the bumper first time out. That race worked out really well. She's had a few hold-ups now, hence why she hasn't been on the track this far this season. But she's in good form, but will improve in whatever she's done.
Yeah, the last couple of Tuesdays, and let's have another Active Authority, Borrowdale, both run in the maiden flat race there. What's the thinking there? Will they take their engagements?
Let's have another. Probably doesn't put it all in, but it's got plenty of ability. I'll fit him with a set of blinkers. He's in good form. The step up and triple suit him. And the two bumper horses, Active Authority ran very well first time out at Musselburgh, and Borrowdale's a nice young horse that we like a lot. So whatever I run the bumper at Market Raisin, we'll go racing with a good chance. And I thought, we'd look forward to running whatever we ran the bumper.
It sounds like there's still a decent amount of bumper horses coming through, Olly. So where would they stand in the pecking order? I know that's for $1 million question.
They'd be up there anyway. They'd be up there. I like Borrowdale. He's a horse who pleased me. He's done at home. So obviously he's never seen a race course this far, but he does everything nicely, and I'd look forward to running him as I would Active Authority if they take up their engagement there.
Okay, and we must have an all-weather section in this podcast from now on, Olly, because I see 3 entries being taken up here potentially, and one of them, of course, is an old favourite, Fleurman, who won last time out. I don't think the marker will miss him this time.
No, yeah, he surprised me as much as he did everyone else at Wolverhampton. I thought he'd fallen out of love with life, but a run on the flat really seemed to regain his spark, and he might go up to Newcastle and see if he can back that up. I'll believe it when I see it. I just hope he can go and kind of reinstate that good run from Wolverhampton again.
And would you give up on this guy over hurdles if he did run well at Newcastle?
Maybe a bit of better ground in the spring on a big track, but he's one of those who's come off the flat. He doesn't seem in love with jumping, and listen, we're seeing it plenty. It's not a formality that these good flat horses all of a sudden love jumping. You know, people forget these horses are bought as yearlings, and they're trained kind of as yearlings, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and then we get hold of them after they've had plenty of hardship and graft, and some of them can carry on their progression, and a lot of them halt their progression and end up regressing. So it's hard buying them off the flat. You have to buy the right horse, and this lad seemed to really enjoy going back on the flat the last day anyway.
Cool. And then one other horse, double enter, Chorl work with is it going Kempton or Subtle on Tuesday?
I'm not sure. She'll go somewhere more confidence boosting run than anything. She's kind of lost her way over hurdles. But yeah, she's got ability. A winner over hurdles for me. Just seems to have lost her confidence a little bit, and I just want to kind of see her gallop at the line and gain a little bit of confidence maybe before going back hurdling in the spring.
Very good, Ollie. So there still are a few entries, I guess, probably more so in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Out of all those, including Saturdays, any horse you're really looking forward to running or best chance?
I'm looking forward to running Huvari actually on Monday, and
Yeah.
probably whatever I run in the bumper at Market Race. And Huvari's improved with each run. I think the step up and trip will really suit him, and the 2 bumper horses are 2 nice types.
Yeah, Huvari is in the maiden hurdle there at Lingfield on Monday. Final question, Ollie. I'm an Arsenal fan. We had a bit of a hiccup there last night against Manchester City. They were playing at Villa Saturday 12:30. I'm not looking forward to the game. I'm not confident. How do you see it going?
Yeah, good question, Dan. But yeah, you're playing an out of form side as well. We've got well beaten our last 2 games. But yeah, we'd really put the cherry on the cake for a bad week for the Arsenal if you don't get an ink off us at Villa Park on Saturday. But yeah, it'll be a good game. I think it's a must win for Arsenal. I've been very impressed with them this season, but yeah, I just hope the wheels aren't falling off for your sake.
And last question on Unai Emery in general, very very early, but how you've been finding his approach? It's a lot of passing from the back.
Yeah, I've actually liked what he's done. It's been a slightly different approach to what we've been used to down at the Villa. I know we've leaked goals our last 2 games, but we have looked a lot more solid defensively. And listen, if we can finish midway this year and have a bit of stability, and he can go and do what he wants in the summer, then hopefully we've got a chance of climbing that table again and maybe being competitive back in Europe in the next couple of years, and we can kind of get a bit of stability.
Well, listen, best of luck Saturday. Best of luck with the week, and hopefully, the ground picks up and we get a bit of rain. Fingers crossed. And we'll chat to you next week, Ollie.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks a million.
Cheers.